how are we? Today we're going to be playing some eFootball 24, but not playing. Today I'm going to go through my best three, GP players in each position. The reason for this is I've been playing quite a bit and I'm seeing a lot of players come online and have players in the wrong positions, the wrong players, and it's ridiculous. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. I'm going to try to remain calm for this video, but if you did enjoy, or do enjoy, like the video, just like it anyway. Comment what video you want to see. Someone do something. I get no likes, no comments. Do something. Make me feel happy, right? Make my day. Do something nice. Thank you. Let's get into it. This is my formation. That was a big sigh because obviously it's somewhat meta. The only off-brand meta bit is instead of 3 attackers I've got the extra midfielder in just because I'm not the best defender. And that's it. I'm going to share my preferences and we'll go from there. Hold on, sorry. I mean, first things first. Obviously this is a video for new players. Bellingham is still available. Get him. If you can get him, get him. This is the upgraded Bellingham. Get him. No one else in here is worth it. You obviously, if you play for free, you only get one of a card. None of them are really worth it. No, none of them are worth it. So as you can see, just before we actually get into it, I have a few free players now. I am a free-to-play player. This Timber is just shiny because that's something they did last year. You had a 1 in like 100 chance of getting a shiny card, and that was the one shiny card I got. I use him as my far left centre back, more or less a left back, due to pace and his defending stats. He doesn't have height, acrobatic clearance, no, aerial superiority or heading or anything like that. So he can't play as a solid central defender. Areo, tall, solid, fast. If he's in form, he's got high physical. Even better defending. All the stats you could need, all the skills you could need. Perfect. My defensive midfielder, I use a destroyer. I don't enjoy how Anchormen play, how they join the defence. I'd rather Declan sit in the middle and just watch for interception passes, not instantly run in, join the defence, and then leave a gap in the middle. That's the problem. That's why I've got the extra defenders, the extra midfielders, who are more defensive minded, box to box. So anyway, we're going to start from the goalkeeper, and the obvious one is Courtois. Yeah, I know he's the most expensive, but he has the best stats and height. You know, he's got the best overall rating to begin with. Neuer. The issue with Neuer is his levels. You know, he's got good reach, good reflexes and awareness, but if you compare it to, you know what, I might take it back, because catching and parrying is the low things for Neuer. Billy is better at awareness and reflexes, so there's potential he's actually a better goalkeeper. I'd say try him. Also, you've got the convenience of him being in Bayern, so more often than not he'll be C and higher when it it comes down to his live form, which is always good for any kind of goalkeeper. I'm also going to try and suggest a cheaper alternative, just because obviously not everyone can afford the full price of players. When it comes down to height, you don't really need reach on your goalkeeper, so you're looking for someone with high reflexes, high awareness, and a reasonable height. And honestly, I'd probably put it to Chesney. Because I'm thinking height, awareness, reflexes. Nick Pope is also good. Martinez is not. Should have probably done the research before I jumped in and tried to do this, but you know, when it comes down to goalkeepers, you only really need one main goalkeeper and then your secondary goalkeeper. So we're going to just have a look. I think that's probably it for goalkeepers, because realistically, you're going to concede a lot of fucking goals anyway. Centre backs, the obvious ones. Alaba, very good, as he can also play left back. So if you do end up wanting a left centre back who can also play basically left back, those are your options. That's what you want. He's perfect. You can play in 5 in the back, 3 in the back, and 4 in the back, and that's exactly what you want. Marquinhos, 100%. He'll be one of your central centre backs. That's it. That's it. These two, 100%. No argument. Conde, again. You've got everything you need. Just likes the height for me. And you can't make him, you know, incredibly quick to kind of make up for the height. And he's also, it's you know, he's not quick enough, or he's not strong enough to be a solid centre back. We're going to go for cheaper options. I do see quickly though some some Div 1 players do use Hernandez as a centre back in a 3 at the back to put as a left back. I would also recommend that. As you can see, very solid defensive stats, especially for a left back. Pretty much all the skills that they could need. Not much to it. Pretty simple. No, we're now going to look for, say, under 100k. Tomori's a reasonable shout. He's reasonable. I'm going to try and show you the players that I've used. My own personal experience with them. Martinez, I think I did use. He was one of them. He ended up being good. I think Pepe's good. For the lower divisions, you can get his defence all the way up. And he's got every player skill you need. He's got the height. He's a destroyer, so he's aggressive. Not too aggressive. Koulibaly, used. Recommend him. Great, good height. Solid. He's long. And that's what you want. You want centre-backs who are long legs. Because for whatever reason, they manage to get into tackles better. I don't know whether it's a player ID thing or if it's just a meta thing in the game, but that's it. Lisandro Martinez, I would recommend him, but I would recommend him in the position of my Timber. As again, he does have aerial superiority, but he's so small. I used to play with him all the time, and he used to constantly lose the ball in the air. Constantly. And you look at his jumping stats and everything, it's annoying. It's frustrating. But he is still a solid centre-back, but just not to be used as one of your main two. I have used quite a few. Timber, again, would recommend. In the same position as what I just said. Danny Vivian, again, I've used. Would recommend him. He's got, there you go, every basic skill you need as a centre-back. Could do with fighting spirit. But again, he's a destroyer. So, he does exactly what you need. So if you want a quicker version of Pepe, there you go. I've given you like 3 or 4 centre backs, right? Probably more than that actually. I think that's it. You know, I think in the end you've got to go for what kind of you feel like you need. You know, what are you missing in your team? I'm missing pace in the back 4. Okay, so I need to bring some pace into it. I keep losing headers. Okay, so I need to bring someone who can, you know. So it's one of them. It's really one of them. Kalulu, everyone goes on about him. Very limited for player skills, but again, if you want to use him as a right back, or if you want to use him as your pacey centre back and add player skills onto him, fair enough. The thing you've got to realise as well is if you're new to the game, you're going to earn so much coins, so many GP to begin with, and so many eFootball points that you can very, very quickly replace these players with players that you pay for. So just before we carry on, as you probably just, if we look, there we go, I've got 2,750 on free to play account. I don't spend them, as I'm waiting for for someone with a high probability of me being able to obtain, who's a game-changing player, right? And that's all you've got to do. You can jump onto the events. I only complete the first stage of the events because the skill training programs, I don't really see a point in me having unless I have endgame players. And I don't have endgame players, so I can't really be bothered. Because you can earn multiple a week anyway. So when it does come to me getting an endgame player, and I choose to then progress him, I'll then start focusing on it, but until then there's no point. We're going to move to our right back position. This is a quick one as well. For your centre backs, people do recommend having one destroyer and one with build up play or something like that, just because of the balance of the defenders. As your build up players tend to move forward, your destroyers tend to sit back a bit more, ready to pounce. So it's a dynamic that you want in your back, because you don't want 2 of the same, because that's when you start to get too aggressive as a defence. Like my defence with Marquinhos and Araujo it's very aggressive. They're always running out, and if I play a switch with my left bumper, well, R1, I tend to drag them out of position, and it's very easy for someone to take advantage of that. Again, why I have the 4 defenders. So just figure it out yourself. You know, you want to kind of have enough players in the midfield, so when you do play a switch, you've got the options to switch to someone who isn't going to change your formation too much, because you want to maintain that defensive line for the offside traps, for any goal poachers who want to try and run through, because as soon as you give them that space, they're going to run through. But because you've got 4 at the back and they sit quite tightly, more often than not you can get 2 defenders on 1 player, and it's a lot harder for them to get the ball. But anyway, straight off the bat, Hernandez, no. I don't use left backs, as you see. I have a special Luke Shaw, and this Luke Shaw he's okay. You know, he's okay. He's not the most offensive, but I do use him as a sub for when I go 5 at the back, if I go 5 at the back during a game. What you need as a fullback is one of 2 things. You need pace, skill, aggression, or you need defensive capability, and Robertson has the defensive capability. What you love about it is his player skills, all the player skills you need, apart from blocker, which again, you can give him. One touch pass is always great on a fullback, because even if they're on defensive, they do tend to sit slightly higher than your back 2, which at that point allows you to just pass it, use your weighted pass, get the ball up to your winger, or get the ball higher up the pitch, to your attacking midfielder or one of your attacking forwards, I would definitely recommend Robertson. The players that I use, well, I only really use, as I said, Timber and Shaw. The rest of them as left backs. There's no out and out left backs. That's the problem. Like you can get a great left back. Again, a great defensive left back. The likes of Shaw. Standard Shaw, 76k. You can get his pace up to 80. You can get all of his defence in at 90 or nearly, which is great. This, yeah, I was going to suggest this man as well. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. Guerrero. Fuck knows. If you're playing free at the back, perfect. As he can sit in the midfield, and then when it's time to go 4 at the back or 5 at the back, he can just slot back into his position perfectly. You know, you can give him a bit higher defensive stats. Get him into the 80s, the low 80s, low to mid 80s. Get his acceleration up. Build his ball control and his passing to be better. And he'll pretty much just lock down the left side. Again, players like Gaia. Pace. That's it. Pace. Sliding tackle. Pace. That's all you need. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain positions, it's quite... As long as I have somewhat defending capabilities. This is what I find in all positions. If someone lacks attacking awareness as a striker, but they have 90 pace, 90 acceleration, you're still going to find them in those good positions because they've got the pace and the speed to get into those positions quicker. Whereas if you get a slower player with 95 attacking awareness, you'll always find them in the positions because they're slower. So they have to sit in those positions more consistently. They can make the nice runs, but they can't make too nice a run just due to their lack of pace. And it's the same thing with defenders. You need them to have reasonable defensive awareness, but then eventually pace does take over. As long as they've got good tackling, or good aggression, or good engagement. Preferably one of them in the 90s, but again, this is pretty much technically a free team that you build. You know, and work your way up from. Mindy, again, I was going to say, before I moved on, Mindy. Use him again. Left midfielder. Pull him back. He's another one you can do that with. But that's it really. I mean, Zinchenko as well. He's got some special cards that everyone rates. And his standard card is relatively okay. But as you see, his form isn't good. But yeah, Robertson definitely is the one. My personal preference straight off the bat is Kyle Walker as a right back. You can get his defending good. Doesn't necessarily need the best passing, but as he's got good low lofted pass. And he's also got some player skills that allow him to control the ball nicely. So he doesn't really need the highest of dribbling either. I've put him as a player with like 90 acceleration, I think. Or 85 acceleration and 90 sprint speed, one of those two. And he always seems to get back in and defend. So I would recommend him. Cancelo is another one. Right mid to right back position, 3 at the back. Fantastic. Or again, as a wing back and 5 at the back. Just looking. And quite a few of them again. Alexander-Arnold is attacking only. This is the problem we have. Reece James as well, I would also recommend him. I come against him and he has quite a few player skills that allow him to pass the ball lovely. He can control the ball lovely. And he can take the ball off you lovely. That's all you want as a right back. You know what I mean? You can't ask too much of them. Pavard is your best defensive fullback. As a right back you'll get. He's great for a number of reasons. Player skills, man marking interception, aerial superiority, sliding tackle, acrobatic clearance, fighting spirit. Only he's missing blocker. So give him blocker or not. I haven't, and I wouldn't, because I don't use him now. Because I use Kyle Walker. Because I'm English and I'm biased to English players. Anyway, perfect. Can play free at the back as a centre back, then to be pulled out on the right side, or starting at the 5 at the back. I want to swap the 3 at the back. You see your options. He can play both centre back and right back. He's got a reasonable amount of height. He's somewhat heavy. He's got great jumping. He's got great starting stats. He can very easily go to 80 speed, 70 acceleration. Do you really want to push it much further than that? Have a mess around with it. Have some fun. Easy peasy. That's really it, to be honest, for right backs. That's really it. Danilo, I've got a special version of him. Some people love him. I'd recommend him. I'd recommend you give him a try. Just because of his versatility. Left back, centre back, right back. Versatile. Good player skills. I just don't like the way he plays. But again, not one of the main centre backs in the middle. You need people that can head at the ball. That's what you want. Yeah. Dalla. I come against him. He's annoying. I wouldn't recommend him. Just because he's annoying. Again, I've got another special version of him. No, I wouldn't recommend his standard card. Wan-Bissaka is supposedly the best fullback, right back. Fullback, right back? No? English? The best? Yeah, fullback. Defensive fullback. We got there in the end. In the game, as you see. Brilliant starting stats. Brilliant starting speed. Not really good physical, but you don't need good physical when he's going to be rapid. All the player skills you need. 100% would pick him if I'm starting again over Kyle Walker. I think I just packed Kyle Walker, so I use him now. Again for a bias. But Wan-Bissaka, yeah, 100%. As you can see, no matter of putting 8 into defensing, you've got 90 tackling, 90 defensive engagement. Then you can put 5 into speed, 4 into acceleration. You can put 10 into acceleration and you've got 85 acceleration, 90 speed. And that's it. It's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great. I think 100% would use him if I wasn't so stubborn. Which is kind of sad because I'm looking at him now for 47k and I'm thinking, fuck, he's a bargain. He really is a bargain. He's one that I would 100% recommend. At the end, I'm going to give you my recommended full team. But straight off the bat, depending on your formation, Kimmich, fantastic. But not as a solo defensive midfielder. Needs to have support. Needs to have an anchor man or a destroyer beside him. Just like centre backs, you need a good pairing. You can't have both at the same, or it won't play as good. But 100% Kimmich. Casemiro or Declan Rice. Find what you prefer. Do I prefer an anchor man? Do I prefer a destroyer? I'm going to show you both options at lower prices, so you can decide which one you want to go for first. Or if you want to go for both of them, go for both of them. 1 destroyer, 1 anchor man, 2 defensive midfielders. Honestly, would work a treat. Would be great. Giovini, I'm telling you, man, he feels like the meta right now as an anchor man. Every time I come against him, very long, very good at getting his foot in, very good at getting the fouls. Gamesmanship as midfielders is underrated, I'm telling you. They will constantly be getting free kicks. Constantly. They will go in for a challenge and win it when they're the one tackling you. It's mental. It's mental. All the player skills. Tall. Just fuck off. Get him. Brozovic, good support. Good support. Good passer. Solid dribbling. Good support. Very good player skills as a substitute for Kimmich. As again, he doesn't have the pace, but he has the dribbling, the passing, the baseline of defending. Do you really want to up his finishing? Not necessarily. Again, gamesmanship. God, I'm saying it. It's just annoying me thinking about it because the amount of times I've had free kicks. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ridiculously stupid. Fabinho is like old meta. That's what everyone says. I haven't played the game for long. A few months. But I got consistently. I got into like Division 2 or Division 3 last season without really trying. And then I got relegated because I don't remember how I got relegated, but it wasn't because I actually started losing games. I think the connection. I think I had a bad day. Anyway, not the point. Ruben Neves have used him. I have actually used him. And he is very nice on the ball. Very nice. But sadly, needs to be in a 4 or 5 man midfield. Because he doesn't have the capability to be an actual defensive mid. As an attacking midfielder, maybe. But if you're having an attacking midfielder, you're going to need like at least 2 or 3 midfielders defensively. You know, or you have an attacking midfielder who can pretty much do it all, like a Kimmich. But don't play him as attacking midfielder, play him as central midfielder. Kante, buy. If you don't buy him, okay, guys, he's 76k. I didn't know how cheap he was. He's unreal. He's the best midfielder. He's the best midfielder. Him and my 99 rated Bellingham. I don't know who is better. A 99 rated Bellingham costs actual real life money. Kante is free. He's unreal. I'll show you my build at the end. A few of these players I actually used just to make it a bit nicer for you. Just so you at least know who you need and what you want to do with them. But Kante's a machine. Right. He goes up to attack and he scores. And I haven't touched his finishing, so he's got 60 finishing. He has no shooting skills. But he scores, and he scores screamers, guys. He actually scores fucking screamers. And it's annoying. Because the best midfielder. And he's so cute to look at. Moving on. Let's not get weird, guys. Come on. I have a wife at home. I am home. I don't know why I said that. Shut up. No. That's it. Calvin Phillips. Look, I have a special Calvin Phillips. I don't recommend him. If you look at him and you think, oh, he's actually got really good base stats. No, he's too small. He's small and he's weak. I have his physical contact up to 80 and he's still a pussy. Right? That's it. I even have a better version than him, so just don't use him. Clara. Brilliant anchorman. Use him. Try him out. If you like him, go for Casemiro. That's it. And he plays centre back, so again, if you want to use a 4 in the back and then go to 5 at the back, or start at 3 at the back and move to 4 in the back, perfect. He just slots in the back. He slots in. He just slots in. Stop complaining. He's free. No, he's great. Okay, he's great. The rest of them, Barrios, very underrated. Bet again, needs to be supported by someone with aerial capability. That's it, really. Get someone with aerial capability. The problem is now is I need to give you a destroyer. He was one that I was going to actually try out before I bought Declan. Because he has every player skill. I think he's taller than Declan. I think he has more player skills than Declan Rice does. I'm going to be honest. I think so. Again, I think Declan only has 70 speed and acceleration on my account. So you can get him most of his stats up to 90. Passing is not that important considering he's got low lofted pass. It's just tiresome, guys, because I'm looking at these players and I'm thinking, I want to start a new account. I want to start a new account and just use them all. But players are just too expensive. When you get into the game, oh, I found something out today about this game that fucking changed my life. Fucking changed my life, I'm telling you. We're going to stop looking at this shit now, right? Because DMFs, they're boring. They're boring. They're too important in the game. A DMF genuinely changes the game. And it's frustrating. Declan Rice, use him. Period. Yeah? If you want to try someone different, have a look. Just compare his stats to others. Probably him, actually. Jesus. Wow. Same height. Unwavering form. High weak foot accuracy, which is good. Just because you don't want him getting trapped in the middle. Nice. The teeny weeny boy. But with good stats. It's a teeny weeny boy with good stats. No player skills. Fuck you. Cristante. Fernando. God, these are boring, aren't they? Honestly, have used him. But used his special card. Again, wouldn't recommend him. The rest of them are just shit. To be honest, try any destroyer. I know that's the least helpful thing you probably could have ever heard, but try fucking any. Get yourself a 3-4 star one for like 40k. Like a Terrea. Actually, yeah, Terrea. Yeah, I'm gonna recommend him. Man marking interceptors, line tackle. I remember seeing him. Again, he's tiny, so you have to pair him with someone with height. I can't do that actually. I take that back. Just because you need someone with, you need to have kind of the full works. I'm saying Alvarez. Go with Alvarez. He's the lesser version than Declan Rice. I'm recommending him because if you like the way he plays, Declan Rice plays better, and then we can just move on. It's that simple. Fuck off, yeah. Suck a fat penis. Centre mids. I use Kante as my centre mid, so he's recommendation 1. Bellingham is recommendation 2. How easy was that? I bet that was so much easier than you thought it would be. Luka Modric as well. As an attacking, well, as the forward, the front central midfielder would be quite good. As it's very easy to get his dribbling into the 90s. He's passing into the 90s if you so choose. Fuck, his finishing's awful. His balance is great, but he's going to get 90 balance with like 80 acceleration. Nah, suck a dick. Don't get him. Pedri. Everyone loves Pedri. Everyone sucks him off. Anyone here, you hear it? I don't have him, right? But everyone sucks him off. So just buy him. Suck him off too. Just suck that nice Spanish cock, right? Very high weak foot accuracy. Great. You can get his defensive engagement just over to 80. Just cause. Just cause. Get his dribbling up great. Get his acceleration up to 80. Just do it. You won't regret him. Barella. One of my substitutes. Fantastic player. Fantastic player. 100% get him. Get him over Pedri. 100%. Verratti, he's one of the more supportive defensive midfielders if you choose to go for 2 defensive midfielders. That's all there is to it with him. He's nothing too special, sadly. Milinkovic Savic I wouldn't suggest. I have a 99 version of him. He's awful. He's boring. Dear me, some players are boring. Just kind of gone for like a trauma episode of playing with him, trying him so many games. He's just shit. I've tried like 10 separate builds with him. An attacking build, a defensive build, a winger build, a striker build, a fullback build. I've tried all these kind of builds and he's just shit. I need to move on. Camavinga, I would recommend. Good speed, good dribbling, good passing, good defence. Period. Problem solved. Somewhat tall. Good player skills. Again, gamesmanship in the midfield is OP. That's all there is to it. Do you know what I mean? That's all there is to it. Again, he's more of a whole player. I don't like whole players. Never mind. Never mind. Zielinski used to be quick back in the day. Sadly, no. I need someone. People think Goretzka's gone now, so we move on. Paul Pogba, I tell you what. No. I don't know why I was about to get excited about Paul Pogba. I was about to tell him about the good old days of how good he used to be back in the FIFA 12 days when you could hit a 50-yarder with anyone. Douglas Luiz. Good. I don't know what else you want me to say about him. He's good. He weirdly plays better than his stats. He's good. Yuri. Just attacking midfielder. Right. Recommend? Sort of. Yes and no. Oh, man, it's a shame because if a better card comes out, get him. And that's all there is to it. Right? That's all there fucking is to it. Oh, I'm just looking at these players and I didn't realise how long this would take. I'm 36 minutes in. I'm a 25-year-old man. Jesus Christ. My life feels like it's withering away just doing this shit. Because no one's watching this far. Everyone's bored shitless. I feel like I could do this quicker. Do a reset and start again. I'm not doing another 40 minutes. I did this the other day. I'm moving on. I'm pretty sure I picked loads of players. If I didn't, put in the comments. No one's watching anyway. It doesn't matter. No one's fucking watching. Left midfielder. I can't really recommend left midfielders. If you want me to be honest, left and right midfielders aren't great. Not very versatile. Can't really come back and defend well. Can't really go up and attack well. I can't recommend any of them, if you want me to be honest. You don't really need left and right midfielders. If you're going for, you know what I mean, if you're going for it at the back and you need left and right midfielders, choose fullbacks and just pull them there so they can go back. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember any of their names. I feel like I've whispered this whole video and I have no idea why. Well. Is there anyone who I recommend on the right? Quadrado, because he does play right back. Defending is awful. Take it all back. Yeah, has absolutely nothing. Never mind. I don't have any of these. They're all shit. Can Lamella still play up front? No. That's a shame. Man, he was a good striker. It's actually October. That's not funny, man. This guy I've used, he's a good fullback. A good winger, sorry. You can choose him as a winger, as you can see. You can get him up to decent dribbling, decent speed, and all of that fun stuff. You can have him on the left and he can come in, cut in and shoot and pass and all that fun stuff. Brilliant crossing ability, brilliant passing ability, very good in his position. There was someone else actually in this position. Who was it? Was it Candrova? No, it wasn't this one. It would be the winger. But I'd get Visca. I'd get him and have him on the bench. Just as you could super sub him onto the wings or as an attacking midfielder. It's great. Musiala, perfect attacking midfielder, all wide player as a sub. So just use him. Know what I mean? Oh, thank God. I thought that was me. Just checking and realising this was muted. Oh my God. I did that before and it made me cry. I just need to double check. I'm sorry. Okay. Just had to double check. Perfect super sub. Have his special card. Get his normal card. Great dribbling. You can get him up to good low passing. Not someone you want to be crossing the ball in, but someone you can cut into, pass and shoot with. Simple. He's going to dribble. He's got a good balance. He's going to be good accelerating. He's a good passer. Can be a good finisher. Can be whatever you want. It's great. He's actually genuinely great. Recommend. But as a super sub, and Cuckoo, recommend. Start him. Sub him off for Musiala. As easy as that. Or play him up front. Play him as second striker. Alongside the striker. Who we will talk about. But not yet. This has gone so long. I'm going to be a lot quicker with this now. Sorry guys. Danny Olmo. Used. Recommend. 100%. He's great as you see. Good starting stats. Good abilities. Super sub as well. So you can start with him instead of Musiala. Have him. Again. Start with Nkuku. Sub him on. Eventually adapt it. Or carry on using him and use him as a winger. Pull him out on the wide. Cross in because of all of his player skills that enable him to do good crossing. Good little skills. One touch pass. He's fantastic. Fantabtastic. What a shit word to use. Sorry guys, that was shit. Inconsistent. Yeah. That's a shame. Eze. It's just Eze. Yeah. I'm taking it. Yeah. Is that, do you want more? Yeah. Winger. He's going to have good balance, good acceleration, good dribbling. Winger. But if you don't want to spend 70k on him, honestly, don't. Really. Still a bit too much for him, I'd say. You know, but the problem you have when it comes down to your attacking midfielders is you don't use attacking midfielders as attacking midfielders. I have central midfielders that come up and then come back to defend, that have good passing ability, but that can supply to the final third, to the final 2 or 3 attackers that I choose to use, depending on the formation I choose. So attacking midfielders need to be versatile. You need to be able to play them on the wings, so they need to have pace, and you need to be able to play them potentially as second strikers. So they need to have dribbling ability and finishing ability. For Kia, I can't remember if I recommended him, but yes. Are we done? Can I go to bed? No, okay. Still more to do. Knuckle shot and dipping shot as well. Actually, there is I do a video on it, but there's a free kick that like one person I've seen on YouTube has done a video on. That you can do a free kick in a specific way with knuckle shot and dipping shot, and it dips in the name, obviously, but you don't angle it with elastic. There's a certain button input that you do at a certain time, and it just dips. I'll show you. It's fine. I'll show you in another video. But yeah, attacking midfielders. There's not many for free that are great, but there's also a lot of wingers and a lot of midfielders, central midfielders that you can use that I've recommended that can be pushed up to attacking midfield, and it's fantastic, right? Vinny. Do I recommend Vinny? Honestly, no. Because obviously that's the question that everyone's going to press left wing, go here and go, oh, Vinny, 280k, must be the best. My problem with him is his lack of positions. His lack of one-touch pass. His lack of first-time shot. His lack of passing abilities or crossing abilities other than through passing, which is great. But he can't cross. You know, he can't power the ball up the field. There's no lofted passes he's really going to be good at. And this is the issue with him. And it's also, you've got to whack 10 into his passing for his passing to be good enough as a winger. Right? He's never going to get good enough balance to be meta Vinny Jr. Right? So it's down to personal preference with him. Do you like the player? Use him. He is still a skillful player, and he's still going to feel good on the ball, but he's not going to be perfect. He's not as good as the other winger that I use, which we'll get into. Sonny, little Sonny boy. Yeah, I'd recommend him. Straight off the bat, I'd recommend him. But I wouldn't recommend this version. This version's better than the other version. Or would I recommend this version? Hold on then, you little sausages. 72, 76, 71. I'm just looking at his dribbling to begin with. So his dribbling's actually worse. With 79 finishing to begin with, which is fantastic. 76 finishing there. The other one's quicker to begin with. But level-wise, we're missing out on 4 levels. That's 8 points. Where's them 8 points gone to? Where have they gone? I don't think they've used 8 points on him. So there's potential. He's not actually worth it, period. He's also not a part of live update. Before we carry on. This one is not a part of live update. So if he ends up playing really well for a week, it'll always be C rating. So if you care about live update rating, use him. I use him currently. Is he amazing? I'm currently trying to find a build for him. Single player, offline, unreal. Having the ability to take long shots with your striker when you're in a tight spot and they fly into the back of the net with either foot, and having the height to also get a header onto your next attacker or back into your midfield is great. He still has skills, so he has the ability to move around these players. He has the ability to speed through the team and dribble past the team. He has a lot of abilities, but he just feels a bit clunky for me at the moment. But I still would recommend him. I'm going to carry on from the top again now. Chiesa, very good dribbler on the ball. Super sub, great winger, great second striker. So if you play with, you're free in the middle with 2 centre forwards and a second striker, you can chuck in there. But if you have the free Neymar they gave out, use him. Because although the free Neymar is slower, he's still pretty good. Still pretty good. Still fucking good. Moving on, right? Liao as well, very good super sub. Can get his pace up, as you see. Both up to 90. Really easy. Inconsistent, but that's why you have 5 substitutes now. It's great. Very good. Can literally just chuck him up front. Can be your super sub for a striker. Or your second super sub for a striker, because I do have a recommended one that I would recommend. But I'm actually looking at him now and I'm kind of comparing him. But he is 170k. But he can get 90. He's not. I wouldn't recommend him over the other one. We'll carry on. Jack Grealish is good. He's not quick, but he's a good player. He's got the player skills. He can, in fact, do skill and dribble and pass. As you see, weighted pass, outside curler, so can also cross nicely and shoot nicely in those awkward positions. He's very good with one-touch pass. And he has very high stats to begin with, so can get very, very good dribbling, can get reasonable acceleration and speed, can get good passing, and can also get reasonable finishing. So would recommend him, but not on the high tier. Again, it's if you're a fan of him, get him. If not, skip him out. Right, get him when you've bought your whole team. Get him as the last player. Marcus Rashford. Okay, we're doing this right. I would recommend him because he's English and I'm biased. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, sadly. I don't think his standard card would be good enough because, again, as a winger, doesn't have the dribbling. Maybe as a striker, maybe, but I wouldn't recommend him. If you like him in real life, again, or if you see other people play well with him, again, before we go forward, remember you can very simply go over to training, pick Manchester United, put no one else on the pitch, add 1 or 2 players on the pitch, just him and a few defenders, a 1-on-1 situation, or 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, and just see how he fares, dribbling around players, pacing through players, finishing in awkward angles. And that's at his very base stat, his very base level. You get a slight boost, but not max boost as what you would get playing him on this, leveling him up. So try him out. If you like the way they feel, try them out. Or if you are concerned, oh, I really like Diogo Jota, but I just don't. He doesn't look great. Just go over to the team, try him out. Go over and train him, put him on the field, see how he feels. Try him with crosses, try him with shooting, try him with free kicks, try him with whatever you want. Try him with whatever you think works. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he looks versatile, but he is missing some stats. He does have some skills that makes you think, oh, actually, he can run past those players. But then you look at and you go, oh, actually, he's got a lot of average stats, but no good stats. 29 levels, could be good for him. Try him out. That's my recommendation for any player before you buy them. Unless I've sat there and said buy them, like Kante. Buy him. Don't argue with me. Don't fight this point. Buy him, you bitch. Moving on. Sane. Sadly not that good. Very one-dimensional. Inconsistent form. That's it. You know, you got to look at that kind of thing with certain players. I'm mentioning the big names because you might go, oh, what about Mane? Again, doesn't excel in anything. You'll be able to get him to 90 acceleration, 80 speed, reasonable dribbling and ball control, but not good tight possession. Not amazing attacking awareness. Not amazing finishing. Not amazing kicking power. Not amazing balance. Not amazing stamina. Not a super sub. He's not tall enough to actually use his heading ability. Isn't going to get the jump in to be able to utilise it as well. So I wouldn't recommend him. Your wingers, Sterling. Little Sterling. Wouldn't recommend him. That's it. Zaha, I would. No, I wouldn't. Adiyemi. I recommend him. Just for Danny Aaron's. Super sub. First time shot. Can play as a striker. Can play as a really quick striker. I just can't. I can't. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. Don't buy him. Don't buy him. Don't do it to yourselves, guys. Don't fucking do it. The rest of them are shit. Yeah? Are we okay with that? Because again, you don't have to buy a winger to use as a winger. You can buy as a striker and use him as a winger. As long as his position works there, use him there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's simple. I can't recommend anyone else. Maybe Garnacho. But it's very easy to get his balance and acceleration up to 90. Has 0 player skills. That's a shame, you know. Hudson-Odoi. I remember him being like 16 on FIFA. That's mad. I feel so old. Oh. Little Forgan. Just realised it's Eden on here now. I ain't seen him. Oh, Coutinho. What a letdown. Oh. Here's Coutinho number 2. Loser. Oh, Shamwari. Remember when he used to be like, again, 18 on FIFA? With like a 76 rated card or 78 rated gold card, and he just run through your defence. Super sub. No one touch pass. Possibly a good second striker / striker. He's just not. That's a shame. We're nearly done, guys. I've been doing this for like an hour. This feels long. I've not gone into that much depth either. Like this has been long for no reason. You've just heard me nag, but you can just put this on in the background, I suppose. I just forgot what I was doing for a second. No to basic Saka. People recommend him, but I wouldn't. Basic Saka isn't good. Are we happy with that? We're not happy with that? Okay. As a winger, he needs to have like all his dribbling into the 90s, which he can't get. Not unless you really focus on that. He isn't going to get reasonable passing. He doesn't have all the passing stats you need to be a great passer. He's missing out quite a lot. So no. Salah, people say yes and no with him. I've recently acquired his 99 variant in his current team of the week. I don't like him. He doesn't dribble that nicely. But again, try him out for yourself and see if you like the way he feels in the training. And if you like him, use him. If not, cool. Usman. He's just a skiller. That's all there is to it. He's a skillful winger. If you want to learn skills or improve on your skills, he's someone you buy. He's going to be quick. He's going to be good at dribbling. He isn't going to be fantastic at finishing. But hopefully, with good dribbling and good pace and good skill, you're able to put yourself in a good position where you can just slot it away easily. But it's one of them, isn't it? It depends on what kind of player you are. If you like skills, I'd recommend him. But if not, no. Rodrigo, I like the way he plays. I've never used him apart from in training, but I like the way he plays. And super sub. He does a good double touch. I think that's level 2 or level 3 double touch. I don't know. Rating E? Oh, I've never seen E rating before. That is sad. Oh, I'd still buy him now. I'd still buy him. Again, another super sub for your attackers. Can be a winger if you choose to be. If you want to have a winging formation, have him. But again, very restrictive. Don't force a winger in your team. Just to force him. Don't do that. Kingsley Coman. I can't recommend him even though he's a super sub. He doesn't have the dribbling capabilities for me. I haven't tried him yet. I don't know how he feels in game. He might feel unreal, but he's not for me. No one-touch pass, so he has to be in the final third only. Diaby. I have his upgraded card. I'd recommend him. He feels very slick on the ball. And he does have the capability to create free kicks. And he has the capability to, run into the box with his pace. He just can't finish or pass. Man, I've only got his upgraded card. I don't think I could recommend him. You need to put a lot into his dribbling. But then you wouldn't have to put a lot into his pace. So it wouldn't matter. You can sacrifice it by putting a lot more into his pace. I'd say get him. How much is he? 100k. Let me keep going. And we'll get back to him. Gnabry, no. Inconsistent. Di Maria. Again, if he's your kind of cup of tea, try him out, see how he feels. I would recommend him if you like the way he feels. Anthony. He's another player I'd recommend if you like the way he feels. Try him out. You can see his player skills. Reasonable. But again, very restrictive on the formation. Don't force a winger into your team. I think we're done for wingers though, because the rest of them, you can scroll through them yourself. You know what I mean? You can see what kind of players I recommended and go from there. But I don't really use wingers often. Doku, I'd recommend him as well because of his dribbling. He's got somewhat skills, but he is someone who will literally just run down a wing for you, dribble it, and pass it short or pass it low. No crossings or anything like that. Low passes, or again, dribble into a good position and slot it in. That's it. Tete is someone people do recommend. Super sub as a winger. Again, he can only play winger. This is what's annoying with players when I can only play in one position. Ah, Pedro. Ah. Ah, super sub. Super sub Pedro still playing. That's nice. That's wholesome. He's a legend, technically. So, if you want a legend in your team for a super sub, there you go. Second striker, playing straight up front. He's going to have all the dribbling above 80s. He's not going to be good. Yeah, try him out. Try him out. Try him out. Two of the same players, or brothers, or they look exactly the same, but they could be twins. But I don't want to go. I don't want to touch that Fred. That might be offensive. Adama Traore, guys. Little muscular beast, right? We know he's got good dribbling. We know he's got good everything. We know he's a beast. We know he's muscular. I wonder if he's muscular in game. No. Doesn't really have thick arms. He's got massive body. Very sexy man. Get him. Get him. Look, free start, 86 speed, 86 acceleration. He's very restrictive though. Again, you've got to consider. Yeah, he's going to have good balance. He might have good dribbling. Do what you want. I love I'm speaking to no one right now. If anyone is actually watching this, just comment. Or at least like. No, just comment. Say, yeah, I'm watching. Literally right, yeah, I'm watching. Maybe that'll be funny. People just say, yeah, I'm watching. Oh, yeah. Remember that? How annoying was that? Just talking to myself. No one gives a fuck. Standard Messi, standard Neymar, not amazing. Do you want more? Or is that enough for you? I mean, I have live ratings. Neymar's live rating's probably going to go down. Because of all his real life dodgy controversy. He feels unreal. If you can't get the free one, buy one. Yeah, buy one. No. Not for 23 levels. No. Don't buy one. One of your last players to buy. Don't focus on him. Dybala, I think he's a good super sub. Even like without the super sub trait, I think he might be. What am I on about? Raspadori is a good super sub. So, get him. Simple peasy. Look, man. Look how good he is. That's it. Again, a super sub. The kind of super sub who can dribble, who can shoot. Not first time shot and one touch finish. I'm kind of off him straight away. Mertens, I like the way Mertens feels. He's like your B-Tech Neymar. Seriously. It's your B-Tech super sub Neymar. So, that's my opinion on him. That's a classic Elia. Man. So much nostalgia. I'm scrolling for no reason now. Who's that? No. Andreas Weimann. Old Villa player. Wow. Man, he had potential to be so good. And I think he just disappeared, didn't he? Bristol Rovers. That's so sad. He actually played really good when he played for Villa. If I recall him correctly. Moving on. Second strikers, bullshit. Who cares about them? I've done it. We're finished. We can cry. Mbappe is your number one striker. 100 million%. 100 million%. Give him first time. No, give him one touch pass. Some more finishing things. Honestly, I'll show you my build. Attacking awareness, finishing, sprint speed, dribbling, all of that. It's all in the 90s. Literally the perfect striker. Literally. But then it also gives him the capability to be a reasonable winger. because he has okay passing, as long as you pass on the ground. And again, one touch pass allows him to dribble effectively and pass effectively, quickly, efficiently. He's great. Cool. Happy with that. Haaland, depending on the way you want to play the game. If you want to play as a top, you know what I mean, with people in the box who are just basically head of the ball, fair enough. Do it. He's a super sub on this game. Fuck knows how. He's younger than me. That's hilarious. Robert, again. You have to use him for what he is, and that's someone who's just going to header the ball in, or someone who you pass the ball to and you just shoot or pass straight away. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what they're good for. Not very versatile. Ronaldo plays better than his stats. He's got good weak foot accuracy, so he can shoot with both feet. He's got good player skills. You can give him aerial superiority, one-touch pass, and he'd be a lot better, honestly. Double touch, soul control. You could give him some good stats and he'd play good. He'd be able to get around players and he'd finish nicely. Because knuckle shot, the ball just goes. If you give him enough kicking power, the ball just goes in weird places. It's very strange, but it works. So I would definitely recommend him. Oshiman, 100%. Pace whore. That's it. You can run through with him and score. That's it. It's two Ronaldo. I get that Ronaldo. Again, because of the live update. Martinez, yes. Again, he's one of them players that is he's a near perfect striker. Near perfect. He lacks height and he lacks massive pace. But he has good enough dribbling and 90 attacking awareness, 90 finishing. Again, for Jesus, would recommend him. No, I won't. I was going to say because of his player skills, but he doesn't have the player skills I thought he did. I remember seeing him before, but clearly not. Moani, he's a good player for very little. For 100k, it's not that worth it. You can get 100k and get a pace all there. Cool. Alvarez, I would recommend Alvarez. I have used him a few times and he's very nice. He plays well. Again, he's not rapid. He's not going to have the best dribbling, the best pace, but he can finish. He can pass, he can shoot. It's nice. Nice, the ball goes in weird places when you shoot with him. It's great. Ben Yedder, he's kind of a good second striker. Yeah, he is. Depay, again, he's one of them. He's like Dries Mertens. Mertens. He's like a Neymar rip-off. Well, he's like a B-Tech Neymar. Not really a rip-off. But he's cheap. Morato, good. Recommend. He's one of them super subs that you can just get it on his head. Aerial superiority. He's got one touch pass, so you can get the ball to him in the air or on the ground, and he can pass to one of your other more clinical strikers if he's not in the correct position to take a shot. But he's also got high enough speed for you to at least get speed into the 80s, so if he needs to get running, he can run a little bit. Not too bad. Romelu. I can't recommend Romelu. Just the inconsistency. Giroud. Always recommend Giroud. Always recommend Giroud. He's just a beautiful man. And that is it. Edin Dzeko. I've tried him, actually, he's quite good. I'd recommend, again, if you're playing that play style. I need like one or two more. No. Lacazette. Wow. How the great players have fallen, guys. It's mental. Varane. Inconsistent, but still has very good abilities. Interesting. played against this little man, and he's a bitch, but he plays well. So again, if you're a United fan, well done. You can buy him. Delafou, good dribbling. Super sub. Again, though, players like this, you don't want to be using your skill programs on them. So just get these sort of players and just deal with the fact that they're not going to be perfect. They are the free players. But if you get yourself, I don't know, an Alexis Sanchez, a basic one, and you use him and he's beautiful and he's great. I'm just clicking my fingers, I'm very sorry. And he's beautiful and he's great. Then obviously think about putting your points on him. I've already put all my points into Mbappe, all my skills. I've got him pretty much all of the skills that I want him in, that I want him to have. Suarez is sort of like a Lewandowski, like a B-Tech Lewandowski, without the height, but without no heading as well. That's a shame. Marco Arnautovic, man, again, man, had so much potential to be like such a good player. I think it was injuries with him that let him down. I think this is it. Muffy, I have his upgraded card, and he's fun to use because of his long shots. He's fun to use, but I don't think I'd recommend him as an actual player you'd spend money on. Really late, mate. It's like 6 AM. I'm going to bed. It's literally 6 AM. I just shouldn't have. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm done. I've showed you everyone. I think I've showed you every single person that I could have showed you. I'm going to quickly scroll through. Yeah, I've showed you all of these. I really want to try Neuer now I've seen him. But I just can't. I can't bring myself to it in case I'm wrong. As you can see, fully free team. It's fully free, not spent a penny. Used the likes of Ronaldo a few games. Koulibaly. You know, I've given them 19 games as a fair whack. Pepe. 43 games, played a lot with him. I've really relied on him. Really relied on Douglas Luiz. Didn't really let me down too much. But again, not a solid defensive midfielder. More as a central midfielder and upwards. I think that's all I recommend. Yeah. Fuck you, I'm going to bed. Like it if you actually finished it. If not, fair enough. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.